श्रीशैलेशदयापात्रं दीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवं यतीन्द्रप्रवणं वन्दे रम्यजामातरं मुनिं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुग्मव्यामोहदस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता युवदयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वगुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्ततङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् स्वस्ति हस्तिगिरिमस्तशेखरः सन्तनोतु मयि सन्ततं हरिः निस्समाभ्यतिगमप्यधत्तयं देवमौपनिषदि सरस्वती श्रीनिधिं निधिमपारमर्तिनाम् अर्तितार्थपरिदानदीक्षितं सर्वभूतसुहृतं दयानिधिं தேவராஜமதிராஜமாஸ்ரயே ஆழ்வார்கள் வாழி அருளிச் செயல் வாழி தாழ்வாதுமில் குறவர் தாம் வாழி ஏழ்பாறு முய்ய அவர்கள் உரைத்தவைகள் தாம் வாழி செய்யமறை தன்னுடனே சேர்ந்து. Shriyapati, or the Lord Sriman Narayana, has blessed a hand-picked set of Jivatmas with blemishless knowledge. These Jivatmas are called the Alvars. They are called Alvars because they are deep in the thoughts of Sriman Narayana. The places where they went and sang the glories of the lords in those places are called Divya Desams. We use the term Mangala Sasanam when we refer to the way the Alvars have glorified the Emperumans or the lords or the deities in the various kshetrams. There are 108 Divya Desams, of which 106 are in this earth. The other two, Parkadal or the Milky Ocean and Paramapadam, Sri Vaikuntham, are not in the reach of Jivatmas in this form, in this human form. So for the last 2 months, we have been enjoying the glories of these Divya Desams. First, we started with Sri Rangam. Then, last month, we enjoyed the glories of Tirumalai. Today, we will enjoy the glories of this kshetram called Perumal Kovil, Satyavrata Kshetram, in other words, familiar to us as Kanchipuram, Devaraja Perumal Kovil. These three Divya Desams together are called as Koil, Tirumalai, and Perumal Kovil, respectively. Koil, the word Koil would mean temple in general, but Koil, when it is said as Koil, would only refer to Sri Rangam. Similarly, there are many mountains, but when we say Tirumalai, it will only refer to Tirumalai Tirupati or Tiruvenkatam, where Lord Tiruvenkatamudayan as Venkatesa, as Srinivasa, blesses us all. Similarly, Perumal Kovil is the place known popularly today as Kanchipuram. It has other names called Attiyur, Hastigiri, etc. Today we will enjoy the glories of this Divya Kshetram. You may ask, why Kovil, Tirumalai and Perumal Kovil? What is the significance? Our Acharyas have shown us that when Nammalvar, who is the head of all the Alvars, composed his first Divya Prabandham, his first Divya Prabandham is called Thiruviruttam, and in Thiruviruttam he does Mangala Sasanam, or he sings the glories of these three deities to begin with. That is why Kovil, Tirumalai and Perumal Kovil, in other words Sri Rangam, Tirumala and Kanchipuram, have a very special significance in our Sampradayam. We also saw in the last two Upanyasams that Kovil or Sri Rangam is called Bhogabhumi or Bhogamandapam, where the Lord is in the reclining form, Lord Ranganatha is in the reclining form, and there he is the enjoyer, he enjoys all the kainkaryams or the services performed by his dear devotees. Next, Tirumalai is called Pushpamantapam, where the Lord Tiruvenkatamudayan is being prayed by flowers. So the Vinnor, or in other words, the celestials, come down from the heavenly worlds and offer their prayers, offer their flowers to Thiruvenkatamudayan. Similarly, the people of this earthly world, they climb up the mountain and offer their flowers and offer their prayers to Thiruvenkatamudayan. Today, when we are talking about the glories of Perumal Kovil or Kanchipuram, the name or the significance, or in other words, this place is called Tyaga Mandapam, or the place where there have been a lot of sacrifices. You may ask what such sacrifices have been done. It is not only from the Sthala Puranam that we will find out what Brahma has done here, but the Lord who is standing here, the Lord Varadaraja, he himself has done a lot of sacrifices. And we will see what those sacrifices are also as part of today's lecture. First, we'll start with the Sthala Puranam of this Divya Kshetram. One can find the Sthala Puranam from the Brahmanda Puranam. The chapter called Sri Hastigiri Mahatmyam explains or talks about the glories of this Kshetram. First, let's talk about how it gets its name. The name Kanchi. So the name Kanchi has several meanings. One of which is it is the beautiful ornament that women wear on their waist. That is called Kanchi. So this place, Kanchipuram, is like that ornament. It is beautiful, like that of the women's of the women. This place Kanchi is like that for Mother Earth. That is one name. Second is Ka means Brahma. So Brahma himself worshipped the Lord here, and that is why this place is called Kanchi. You may recall that Brahma has a strong connection to Srirangam also. Similarly, Brahma has a strong connection to the Lord here also, and we will see why. So once upon a time, Brahma was very happy in Satyalokam with his wife, goddess Saraswati. At that time, there was a discussion as to who is the most who is the most special lady of all the worlds. So Brahma was sitting right next to his wife, goddess Saraswati. Saraswati was eagerly awaiting Brahma's answer. She was expecting that Brahma would call out her name and say that she is the special or the best lady of all the worlds. But Brahma instead chose to speak the truth. He, for once, did not want to just say something to impress his wife, but he wanted to speak the truth. So he said, of all the women, it is his mother, it is all our mother, goddess Lakshmi, or who we refer as Tayar. She is the most special lady of everyone, of all the worlds, in among all the worlds. Saraswati, when she heard that, was shocked. She was shocked beyond all measures that Brahma chose to glorify his mother, goddess Lakshmi. So she was very angered and she left Satyalokam to go and perform a penance by the banks of the river Saraswati. Now, why did she choose the river Saraswati? The river Saraswati is also an incarnation of the same Saraswati who is the wife of Brahma. So, apparently, at an earlier point in time, there was a discussion about which river is the most sacred. And you may recall that from our stories about our glories about Tirumala, that Saraswati herself performed penance asking to be named as a better river than Ganga. So in the past, when there was a discussion about which river was the most sacred of all, Brahma at the time did not prefer to say the name Saraswati. He instead chose to say Ganga. So Saraswati was now angered in two fronts. One, the river Saraswati was not named as the most sacred river, and secondly, now when Brahma was asked as to who is the special or the best female of all the worlds, Brahma again did not choose Saraswati. Instead, he chose Lakshmi ji. So to overcome this, she chose to go and perform penance. So Saraswati left, and Brahma figured that, oh, she is my wife, I'll go and pacify her at some point in time. So he took that lightly. But his troubles were just beginning to start. The next thing that happened was, at the same time, or at around the same time, he was informed that the Devas, along with their guru Brahaspati, and a lot of the rishis had come and they wanted to talk to him. Now we know that the king of the Devas is Indra, and the place where Indra rules, that is called Swargalokam. Now, of the 7 upper planets, the Swargalokam is only the 3rd planet. Now, beyond the Swargalokam are the other heavenly planets. The 7 heavenly planets are Bhulokam, the earth where we all live, and then the Bhuvarloham, and then the Swargalokam, Mahalokam, Janalokam, Thapalokam, and above all of this is Satyalokam. Satyalokam is ruled by Brahma. That is where Brahma reigns. Now, beyond Satyalokam is the river Viraja, runs the river Viraja, which separates the 7 planets from Sri Vaikuntham. The 7 planets, the 7 heavenly planets, along with the 7 lower planets, the Patalas, they are all in what is called the Leela Vibhuti, or the sport place for Sriman Narayana. Now, these lokas, they will get flooded, or they will be destroyed during the Pralaya Kalam. Whereas Sri Vaikuntham is called as the Nitya Vibhuti, which means it never gets destroyed. It is forever. Okay. Now, all of the Devas, whenever they are in a fix, and when they want to go and ask for prayers, when they want to pray, they come to, when they are facing something that they cannot solve by themselves, at that point they come and pray to Lord Brahma in Satyalokam. Now, similarly, an occasion had come up where the Devas and the Rishis did not agree upon something. So they came to Brahma asking for a clarification, or asking to find out what the right thing was. Now, the subject of that discussion was about yagams, specifically about Ashwamedha yagams. Okay, so the question was, in Ashwamedha yagam, usually animal sacrifice is done. Now, the rishis who were following the path of ahimsa, they stated that in Ashwamedha yagam, it is not necessary to do animal sacrifice directly by killing an animal. It is sufficient to make a model of an animal with flour and offer that as a sacrifice. Now, the Devas did not agree to it. So they rejected that. They rejected the idea, and they proclaimed that, well, when the Shastras have clearly laid out that the animal has to be sacrificed, right? How can you just settle for something lower in their eyes with something that's just made of flour? So they came to Satyalokam, to Brahma, and asked him for what is the right thing to do. Brahma, in this occasion, chose to side with the rishis. He said it is sufficient to offer in sacrifice a model animal that is made with flour instead of the real animal or instead of sacrificing the real animal. Now this angered the Devas, and the Deva Guru Brahaspati got super angry. He got super angry and he cursed Brahma. The curse was that Brahma would lose his Brahma position. He would lose his Satyalokam, he will lose the chair Brahma, and he would have to do 1,000 Ashwamedha Yagams to be relieved of the curse. Okay, now what does that mean when we say he'll be relieved of his chair? So, Brahma is just a position. Brahma is not a person. Just like how we say the President of America or the Prime Minister of India or the President of India, that denotes a specific position. Now, whoever is in office at that time is called the President. Similarly, Brahma is also a position. So, a Jivatma, when they perform a lot of punyams, there's so much of punyams, and they pray to Sriman Narayana, eventually when they rise above everybody else, right, at that point they could be appointed for the position of Brahma. The position of Indra is also similarly, it's just a position. Okay, now the curse of Brahaspati is that Brahma would lose his position as Brahma, and he would have to perform 1,000 Ashwamedha Yagams to reclaim his Brahma position or Brahma Padavi. Now Brahma was devastated. So he had to go and find a way to do 1,000 Ashwamedha Yagams. And not only that, the curse was also that he had to do the Ashwamedha Yagam with real animal sacrifice. He cannot do the model animal sacrifice that he had mentioned as a workaround for the rishis or on behalf of the rishis. So now Brahma was in deep thought. He was in deep sorrow. How was he going to go and do 1,000 Ashwamedha Yagams? Now, at that time, he started praying to Lord Sriman Narayana. Sriman Narayana is Brahma's father himself. Tirumalizai Alvar says, Nanmuganai Narayanan Padaithan. That is, Nanmugan is the four-faced Brahma, and he was produced by Narayana. You can also see this in a lot of Divya Desams, in a lot of Sthalams. Even in Sri Rangam, you can see that from the navel of Ranganatha, of Sriman Narayana, comes the beautiful lotus on which is Brahma seated. So Brahma started praying to Sriman Narayana, and he heard an Ashariri. Ashariri. What that means is you would only hear the voice, the divine voice, without a body attached to it. Okay, so now this Ashariri said that, hey Brahma, you can go to this kshetram called Satyavrata Kshetram in the Bhulokam and perform your Ashwamedha Yagam there. Now, the place is so pious, it is so divine that it's called Satyavrata Kshetram, because anybody who has a vratam, that vratam, when they come and observe it there, it will become true. Satyavrata Kshetram. And not only that, anything that you perform here will bear the results 1,000 times. So if Brahma were to do one Ashwamedha Yagam there, then it would be equivalent to performing 1,000 Ashwamedha Yagams. So Brahma was ready. He was ready to go and do his Ashwamedha Yagam in this Satyavrata Kshetram, which is none other than the Kanchipuram place. Okay, but the next complication arose. Per the Shastras, one cannot do any of the Yagams or Yagyams without their consort. That is, in this case, Brahma needed Saraswati. But then, we all know Saraswati was already angered by what Brahma did, and she had already left Satyaloka. So, Brahma's son Vasishta decided to go and bring Goddess Saraswati to bring her back to Brahma, so Brahma can continue with his Ashwamedha Yagam. So Vasishta goes and pleads to Saraswati. But Saraswati was still very angry and she rejects the plea. She refuses to come. So Brahma now chooses to use or to continue to do the yagam with one of his other wives, Savitri Devi. This angered Saraswati even more. And at the same time, the Asuras, they also did not want Brahma's yagam to be successful. So they went to Saraswati and instigated her further. They fumed her. They made her more jealous by talking about how Brahma now chose to ignore her even more and continue to perform the preparations that are necessary for the yagam through his other wife Savitri. So Saraswati decided to stop the yagam at any cost. So she decided to put a lot of obstacles or anything that was in her power to stop the yagam from being successful. Saraswati decided to send an asura, a Rakshasa called Sambarasura, to go and stop the yagam. Now, Sambarasura was known for causing obstacles in very unique ways. So he decided, Sambarasura, to just spread darkness. Okay? He spread darkness completely in the Yagashala, or the place where the yagam was supposed to happen. So nobody could see anything. It was pitch dark. At that time, Brahma prayed to Hari, or to Sriman Narayana. So Hari, Sriman Narayana, he decided to bestow his grace on Brahma. So in order to dispel the darkness, he came, or he took the form of Deepa Prakasa. That is bright light, a lot of light. So when the Lord himself decides to come as the light, right, can any darkness withstand that? Sambharasura fled. The place where the Lord came as Deepa Prakasa is called Tiruttanka. It is one of the Divya Desams in the suburbs, or in the district of Kanchipuram. Now this place Tiruttanka, it has its own significance. The great Acharya called Swami Desikan, or Swami Vedanta Desikan, was born here. We will enjoy more about the glories of Tiruttanka when we are focusing on that Divya Desam. Now back to the Yagam. Next, the Asuras decided to take the form of elephants, large elephants, and they came in a big, large herd of elephants to try and destroy the Yagashala. Now Brahma prayed once more, and now Sriman Narayana took the form of Narasimha Murti, of lion, and came and chased away or destroyed these mad elephants that were rushing to destroy the Yagashala. So that Divya Desam is called Tiruvelukkai, which is also one of the Divya Desams in Kanchipuram. The relentless Saraswati, who was determined to stop the yagam at all costs, now decides to plead to Kali and send Kali along with a bunch of asuras or rakshasas to destroy the yagam. Now at this juncture, even without Brahma praying to Lord Sriman Narayana, when Kali appears with her rakshasas, the Lord comes with beautiful 8 hands called the Ashtabhuyagaratemman, and he comes and vanquishes Kali and the Rakshasas. Next, Saraswati decides to go into action herself. She transforms, or she takes the form of the river called Vegavati, and decides to flood the entire place, and comes gushing down. But at this time, Sriman Narayana takes a reclining form and stops the river Vegavati. That place where he takes the reclining form is called Thiruvekka. Sonna Vannam Seida Perumal. Yadottakari. So that Divya Desam is also within the Kanchipuram area. Since Sriman Narayana damned himself against the gushing Saraswati or the gushing Vegavati river, now Vegavati or Saraswati also comes to senses. Now that she has touched him, now anybody who comes into even a little bit of grace of Sriman Narayana automatically gives up their mean or their impure feelings. And Saraswati was no exception. Now that Perumal damned himself across the Vegavati river, she completely drenched him, or she had come into contact with all of Thiruvekka Divyadesa Emperuman's Yadhotakari Emperuman's divine body. So she was devoid of her papams, of her ego, and she came to senses. She apologized, and after that Brahma was able to go on and conclude or continue his yagam. Saraswati now joins Brahma for the Ashwamedha yagam, and Brahma completed his yagam. So in this yagam, now Varadarajan, he comes out of the Yaga Kundam, the Homa Kundam, with a glory that is beyond 1,000 suns. Since he comes out of the Homa Kunda, you can still see the fire marks on his face. Manavala Mamunigal, who has composed a Mangala slokam called Devaraja Mangalam, glorifies him as Vajimete Vapa Home Dhaturuttara Veditaha Uditaya Hutadagne Rudarangaya Mangalam. He appears in the Punyakoti Vimanam and appears in the month of Chitrai, which is the current month, on a Sukla Paksha Chaturthasi Thidi, on a Sunday in the Hasta Nakshatram. He appears as Varam Tarum Rajan Varadarajan. Brahma is also relieved of his curse and prays to Varadaraja that he should continue to offer his darshan, offer his seva in Kanchipuram to all of the devotees who are going to come in the future to pray and surrender onto his lotus feet. Now, Lord Devaraja also accepts that, and he further announces that all of this that happened in the Krita Yugam or the first Yugam, where Brahma offered his worship and prayers to Devarajan or Lord Varadarajan. In that next Yugam, which is the Treta Yugam, the Gajendra Moksham story will be enacted here. And then in the Dwapara Yugam, Brihaspati, who originally cursed Brahma and was in turn also being cursed by Brahma, would also come here and offer his prayers and worship to Varadaraja. And then in the Kali Yuga, Adisesha himself will come and offer his worship. Now that gives us a very nice segue into what happens with Adisesha. Adisesha is born as Swami Ramanuja and performs a lot of Kainkaryams for Lord Varadaraja. But before we jump from the time of the Brahma to the time of Swami Ramanuja, we will enjoy the Alvars who have offered their Mangalasasanams to Varadaraja. Bhudattalvar, Peyalvar, and Thirumangayalvar have offered their Mangalasasanams and have glorified Varadaraja. There are a total of 7 pasurams offered to Varadaraja. You may ask, oh my god, am I hearing this right? Is this 7 pasurams? For Srirangam and Thirumalai, we talked about over 200 pasurams. But for Kanchipuram, for Lord Varadaraja, am I hearing it right that there are only 7 pasurams? Yes, that is true. But this Perumal, Varadaraja, has been glorified by the Alvars indirectly also. So, Nammalvar, when he starts his Mangalasasanams, the first ever Pasuram that he writes is in the Divya Prabandham called Thiruviruttam. The first Pasuram of Thiruviruttam, or the first Pasuram that comes out of Swami Nammalvar, goes like this. பொய்நின்ன ஞானமும் பொல்லா ஒழுக்கும் அழுக்குடம்பும் இன்னின்ன நீர்மை இனியாம் உராமை என்னின்ன யோனியுமாய் பிறந்தாய் இமையோர் தலைவா மெய்நின்னு கேட்டருளாய் அடியேன் செய்யும் விண்ணப்பமே. He prays to Imayor Talaiva. Now, Imayor Talaiva means one who is the head of the celestials. Now, what is the name for Varadaraja? The other name is Devarajan, Devadirajan. That is, he is the king or the head of all the Devas. So, Nammalvar starts by glorifying Lord Varadaraja. Next, the other most important Divya Prabandham composed by Swami Nammalvar is called Thiruvaimozhi. It is the equivalent of Samavedam. The first Pasuram in Thiruvaimozhi goes like this. Uyarvara uyar nalam udayavan yavanavan mayarvara madinalam arulinan yavanavan ayarvarum amarargal adipadi yavanavan tuyararu sudaradi toludezhan manane. Ayarvarum amarargal adipadi. Amarargal means the ones who are immortal. Amarargal adipadi. So the head of the immortals. So who is none other than Devadi Raja or Devaraja. So Nammalvar has indirectly glorified Lord Devaraja in his Thiruvaimozhi in the first Pasuram as well. Now in this Pasuram, Nammalvar says, Toludezhu en manane. That is, he performs or he advises his own mind. He says, Toludezhan manane. As a result, you could see even today that the Archa Tirumeni or the idol form of Swami Nammalvar in this Divya Kshetram of Kanchipuram alone can be seen doing an advice to his own mind. You see his, if I were in person, I would have shown it to you, but you could see his hand pointed to his mind, to his heart, asking to think about and to surrender and to glorify Lord Devadiraja. Bhudattalvar in his Divya Prabandham called Irandam Thiruvandadi glorifies the Lord as Attiyuran. That is, he says, En nெஞ்சமேயான் என் சென்னியான் தானவனை வண்ணெஞ்சம் கீண்ட மணிவண்ணன் முன்னம் செய் ஊழியான் ஊழி பெயர்த்தான் உலகேத்தும் ஆழியான் அத்தியூரான். அத்தியூரான் பிள்ளையூர்வான் அணிமணியின் துத்திசேர் நாகத்தின் மேல் துயில்வான் முத்தி மறையாவான் மாகடல் நஞ்சுண்டான் தனக்கும் இறையாவான் எங்கள் பிரான். This place, Satyavrata Kshetram, is also called, or it has the original name of Hastigiri, or in Tamil it becomes Attigiri. Hastigiri is called the elephant hill. So what that means is, once upon a time, the elephants used to come and offer their prayers here, and as the Lord himself said, the Gajendra Moksham happens here, where he blessed the Gajendra or the elephant. So this place, this hill is called Hastigiri. In Tamil, it becomes Attigiri. Bhudatalvar glorifies the, the Lord of Hastigiri as Attiyuran, and he says his heart's permanent resident, that is the Lord, has his feet on Bhudatalvar's head. He is the Lord who destroyed the Asura's chest, the first cause, Lord of delusion creations, the discus wielder, and the resident of Attiyur. And in the next Pasuram, he glorifies that the Lord of Attiyur rides the famous Garuda, rides the bird Garuda, reclines on a beautiful snake with radiant gem-set hoods. He himself is the philosophy of moksha. Next, now we will come to the Acharyas. Now, Swami Ramanuja was born in Sri Perumbudur, but it was Lord Varadaraja who rescued Swami Ramanuja from the forests of the Vindhya mountains and brought him back. Now, the bewildered Ramanuja wakes up and says, "Oh, where am I?" When he comes out of the Vindhya hills, guided by Lord Varadaraja and Perundevi Tayar, who is the consort of Lord Varadaraja, and Ramanuja comes out and he says, "Oh, where am I?" And then a passerby says, "Oh, can you not see the Punyakoti Vimanam? You are in the divine Satyavrata Kshetram." Ramanuja performs Tirtha Kainkaryam from the well which is called Salai Kinaru, from where he used to fetch water almost every day and used to assist Tirukachi Nambi in the Kainkaryams performed to Lord Varadaraja. Now, Tirukachi Nambi, his original name was Gajendra Dasar. Since he is from Kachi, so this place is also called Kanchi, is also called Kachi or Tirukachi. He was fondly referred as Tirukachi Nambi. Now, Tirukachi Nambi used to perform the Alavatta Kainkaryam or the fanning service to Lord Varadaraja here. And Lord Varadaraja used to speak to him. Lord Varadaraja was responsible for clearing the doubts that were in Swami Ramanuja's mind. Now, it was indeed this Lord Varadaraja who gives Ramanuja the sannyasa ashramam. So, prior to becoming a sannyasi, Ramanuja's name was Ilayalvar. And when Ilayalvar decides to take up the sannyasa ashramam, he comes to Lord Varadaraja, and Varadaraja grants him the sannyasa ashramam and also gives him the name Ramanuja. It is in this kshetram that Yamunacharya or Swami Alavandar blesses Swami Ilayalvar to become the leader of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam. Ramanuja's prime disciple Kuratalvan was granted the divine vision by Varadaraja Perumal, and Kuratalvan composed his work called Sri Varadaraja Stavam on this deity. When Ramanuja was in the service to Lord Varadaraja, it is at that time that an acharya called Thiruvaranga Perumal Arayar comes and requests Varadaraja Perumal to give away Swami Ramanuja to come and take the seat of the leadership seat in Srirangam. At first, Lord Varadaraja refuses, but Lord Varadaraja is also called Arulichayal Pittan. That is, he is mad after the works of the Alvars, the Nalayara Divya Prabandhams. So, the next time Thiruvaranga Perumal Arayar comes and he recites with music the Alvars works, the Arulichayal. Now, mesmerized by that, Devaraja Perumal grants him a boon. So Tiruvaranga Perumal takes advantage of that and then requests for Ramanuja to be given away to Srirangam. When Varadaraja refuses, Tiruvaranga Perumal Arayar reminds him that Ramodvirnabhi Bhashate, that is, Rama does not have two words. If he speaks, whatever he gives out, that is the truth. Now, Lord Varadaraja has promised that he would give anything that Tiruvaranga Perumal Arayar wishes, and now he has to keep up his promise. So, Varadaraja gives away Ramanuja to Lord Ranganatha. That is why we say this place is Tyaga Mandapam. That is, he does a lot for our Sampradayam. Swami Desikan has also composed a lot of works on Varadaraja. Sri Varadaraja Panchasat is one such famous work. When Swami Manavala Mamunigal visits Attiyur, Hastigiri, he recognizes that there are a lot of shlokams that are in glory of Lord Varadaraja. However, the Swarupam or the nature of the Jivatma is to perform Mangala Sasanam and to pray for the well-being of the Lord. So he composes a set of Mangala Slokams for Devaraja. So that work is known as Sri Devaraja Mangalam. Today we will also conclude our Anubhavam or our experience of Devaraja by reciting one of the Mangala Slokams that Swami Manavala Mamunigal composed on Devaraja. Astu Sristana Kasturi Vasana Vasitorase Sri Hastigiri Nathaya Devarajaya Mangalam Mangala Sasana Parair Madacharya Purogamaihi Sarvaischa Purvacharyai Satkృతాyastu Mangalam. ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.